I Sedie. I can't able to agent to add your family. I bet you, ever easy. Padibi also from Ebo Noah successfully has gotten the attention of the entire nation. 25th. You had the Bible say, Odunsu, Nsu flood was the Bible say. Now, this is my clarity that I want to give you so that you stop following this unnecessary trend. 25th feelings. The guy is a content creator from Takrady. He has tried several times to find a niche. And I think right now he has found one. In fact, what the Maya Grandpa catching there, why are they winning the attention of the entire nation? You should make good use of that attention. Now, what happens is that saying after 23rd, what is this guy going to do? What is this guy going to do? Right? Obey then. So let's watch out for different content from that guy because he cannot ride on that lower thing forever. Of course, he is not the only person or the first person. Our profile is doomsday for the entire world. A lot of people have done that. Even a hen, akoko bill, mpo prophesied the end of the world before 1806 in England. Ikurubia was often Leeds. Akoko bill be a prophet. What would you Jesus is coming. Nura, our friend Mary Bateman. When that thing happened, people were coming to a house. Though, but akoko na or prophesied that Jesus is coming. Akoko ni Jesus is coming. People were paying to come and see the akoko. People were writing magazines, explaining things. People were quoting scriptures. They were cashing out. And then akoko Nura. No, so what she was doing in there, she was offering potions, prayers, just to help you so that you have access to the second coming of Christ. Okay, student. 1806, so we are still here. Christ and by. Medical doctor Bikada no. He cannot just believe that. How can he investigate? Okay, that investigation. He saw that Son and Mary Bateman and corrosive ink, other strong legible letters. Oh, Jesus is coming. We are the Ura coming back. Painful experience for the Akoko. The Ura coming back. It will take some few hours. Na Akoko na was and so what to. That means Jefona back. Or to Jefona back. Jefona look fresh with the ink legibly written on it. Jesus is coming, making money. Later, they found out that Lady Crampo, a murderer, a serial killer, who couldn't by hanging. People will always find ways and means to take advantage of you. The format is simple. Create fear, offer protection, cash out. Simple. Ghana, it happens all of the time. Go through the prophecies that have come, national prophecies. All of them, they will create fear, offer protection, cash out. Fear, offer protection, cash out. It keeps on happening. Joshua Mhlakela Rapture, South Africa, prophet, 2025 year, just September. Yana no bebe shenkom. The Jesus Christ, also the Olaba on the 23rd, another 24th of September. Rapture. Onumpo was riding on Rapture. He was riding on Rapture. No so create TikTok account. Guy trendy. Even on that day, now Rapture was supposed to happen. There was TikTok live. A lot of people waiting to be raptured. Aside that, there were a lot of people that want or come mountain below. A very vast plane. They are just going to wait for Christ to come and rapture them first. And when they were going with phones and bags and money and all that. Why didn't you go empty? They will always cash out on you, right? They will create a fear. When that fear is created, there is the logic seat of the brain. It freezes. It stops functioning. When it stops functioning, the person has captured you. Whatever that person says, ebeye. But the moment you are able to pause the seat of emotions, if you're able to pause the seat of emotions here, the logic seat will take over and it will start asking questions. It will need clarity. And when you're able to get the clarity, through the process of getting the clarity, so you don't need to panic because you base your experiences in that. It wouldn't help. It is not going to help. Please, I would like you to read. Information all around. We need to be critical thinkers. So, when somebody come and say something, please let your logic work. Look, faith is not absence of logic. That is what I have observed in the scripture. In experience, faith is not absence of logic. Abraham was the father of faith. Because Abraham did something and it was accounted to him as righteousness. When we talk about faith, Abraham are the first. Do you think Abraham also Isaac or the No, Abraham reasoned because Jephthah later in the New Testament, and Paul was explaining Abraham's faith. What really inspired that faith? Paul was saying that Abraham thought, or no one day one, a banner Yankupana another man. Say Yankupon Nankasa or the Bayam. None of us is there. No, there is something wrong. It means God is doing something. Jadi yang pun try the boss and actually into Madaboko, not the quite. God is not going to do that. And when you are there in the history of him working with God, God doesn't take the blood of human beings. He is not going to do it now. Logic at work here. So faith, to me, faith is not absence of logic. Yeah, because we have the brain, the brain that is powering us. The brain. And brain watched him that there is an emotional seat, there is a logic seat. That is at the all work. So if it is possible for the logic aspect to interfere with faith, why is it there? Why is it there? They work together. Logic and emotions, they work together. You cannot put logic aside and work with emotions. Because if you pay attention to what is really happening with the emotional aspect or the logic side, you will explain, and okay, this one makes sense. Let it out. Let the emotions work. Because most of us, we make our decisions based on our feelings, not logic. And if logic will come to play, the logic, logic can give you all the data, all the facts that this thing is like, but emotion will decide whether I will do it or not. So let the logic work. Ebo Noah, also, if you the Bible say, with the flood, logically, this story has a backdrop in history. You go find out what really happened. No one time, in Subita, okay. Keep on reading. About 9 verse 11. There it will tell you that the God that we are talking about, and said, I'm God, man, I know where you can. The God that we are talking about, us that this thing I'm not going to do it again. And on yet just in some to track there are certain times that God has said something and then said another thing to counter the first one. There's a story in the Bible. Yankupon catch a prophet, you can show him be the time house will be go. Prophet in Quaker came. Then he prayed. Prophet in the 10 God right there told him go back. The woman more said 15 years or more. Yeah, something of that sort. You want to read the Bible? I may not be accurate on that, but it's a story. Go and read it if you're interested. If you're not interested, bogus. It starts where God says something and changes it. But what we are talking about is covenant to apam. In the scripture, that God has said something apam by covenant, something that He has said and backed by covenant. Now what's another? And this it was apam with human beings. All these years, this thing has happened. What's a rainbow? It's not a den crown, rainbow. Man, Ebo Noah. all Baba ride on this to make more followers. And whilst he is benefiting from the followers, how you are making decisions based on that. Probably you quit your job. Probably you'll be selling your stuff. Or maybe you'll be sending him money to get a seat in that boat. Let your logic work. Faith is not absence of logic. They work hand in hand. Anytime this doomsayer thing comes in, it affects our personally if you believe in it. Because you based on that information to make a decision. Nana Brewa, Kojo Kwansa, 2006, okay, Chain. There was a baby if you sort of about to pump, and soon about the did it happen? Happen and Chamgina. William Miller, or can be a man for about how this world is going to end. It never happened. Why are people so obsessed with the end of the world like that? A man for they are so obsessed. They hadn't said, Major one mentasi. Major one mentasi. Why must be a boom? But then, what if we had some cosmic catastrophe be on sea? Why? Maybe I have to research on that. Why people are so obsessed with if we hadn't said? Masa, my personal belief in go pampedos, if you hadn't said, even when you come to the end of the scripture, like Revelation, is it 22 or 18 there about Madam Yefi? Even at that time, the world didn't destroy. I saw a new heaven and earth coming down here. Well, I say I'm all about down. The whole point is that God wants to stay with human beings. That's all. Then we are the only set proper to argue. Generations will come and go, but this world will be there for to argue with them. Babylon is no more there. But Babylon had been a civilization before, has been a great empire before. Our infant, you can't find it, can you? Can you? That world has passed, but this world is still there. One time, one generation, we are gone. One civilization, we are gone. The Ghana Empire, that civilization is gone, but you are still here. Massa, stay here, build, enjoy what God has given you here. Everybody can die. That one day, anytime, any place, you can die at any time. But actually, the fact that that is going to happen, you don't have to base your decisions on that. Plan, do your thing and go. Now, no way, we are followers. Has that affected your decision making? Leave it in the comment section. 25th. What's your other say? Do you believe it or it's a crap?